Man, does Rick Edelman drive me nuts. There's no way a bash on the guy. Oh my goodness, it drives me crazy. And actually, I liked Rick Edelman growing up. I remember when I first got out of the Army, my dad lived in Alexandria, 21 East Braddock Street, Alexandria. He was renting a house. And I had a friend of mine who was married or dating some chick up in Frederick, Maryland, who I was in the Army with. And I can't remember, but I would go see him and her on occasion, and I'd take the GW Parkway all the way up to 495, the Maryland Beltway, get around the DC Beltway around Maryland. You'd see the Mormon Temple and all that. Hop on 270, and then you get at 70 north of Frederick. And I'd always, WMAL, 6:30 a.m., listen to Rick Edelman on Sundays or Saturday mornings. I can't remember. Anyway, and I wouldn't say he's the guy who got me interested in investing, but he certainly enhanced my knowledge, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to listen to, and I liked it very much. He's been taking on this thing right here. So I'm just minding my business, reading this article on a Sunday morning. How does it do that? Drives me crazy. All right, so we got this article. You can't see the headline, but anyways, the headline about be careful of this risk of filing for Social Security, and that's fine. And I'm also reading this right now. This is fun, dude. This right here. This is the Senate report on pensions from 1971. It's 171 pages, 186 pages of pure fun. Sadly, I can't find the actual book. You can get it from a library, but I can't buy it. So the closest library is in Birmingham. But anyway, I'm just downloading it page by page to bring the info to you. So you don't have to. Anyway, so this guy's article right here about Social Security led me to this article from Rick Edelman. All right, so let me just show you what I'm talking about. So he had written down here, let's keep going, something about life expectancies. Hold on just a second, I'll find it. Let's see. Such results tend to come from assuming lower life expectancies in a world of rapidly advancing longevity. Among the top income earners, this could be a big mistake for financial advisors and clients. I'm like, where's the proof of that? So I clicked the link and it took me to this article by none other than Rick Edelman. And I was like, that's weird. I was able to show you this, but now I can't. And Rick Edelman says, I can't see what the headline says because that stupid thing right there. All right, so if people live to 120, the concept of a single linear 40-year career stops making much sense. Future generations may have a more cyclical relationship with work. Greatly expanded longevity also raises questions about housing preferences and the utility of utilities. Where is the evidence of a rapidly expanding longevity? Where is it? It's not there. It's just not there, man. And oh my goodness, it drives me crazy. I don't know why Rick Edelman doesn't get this. So, according to Rick Edelman, young people should start thinking about their potential longevity in a fundamentally different way than their grandparents or even their parents. This, in turn, means they need to rethink the concept of work savings and retirement. Let's see, it all comes down to the human genome, says Edelman. Our newly established ability to use the genome to treat chronic disease will be an absolute game changer for longevity. New technologies to help treat cancer and other diseases will soon completely change our ability to effectively treat disease and address the negative effects of aging. If you are paying attention, you can see where I said from astonishing progresses in so many diseases. And that might happen. But it's no different than the silly people on the greens. Like the battery technology is just right around the corner. We just get off grid. We just have battery technology. And I was reading this article about 700 megawatt hours of batteries. This huge battery plant. 700 megawatt hours of storage of electricity. That's going to be all for 2 hours. It's going to cover you for 2 hours. This huge new battery plant. We can store 700 megawatts of electricity in these batteries. That's going to provide 2 hours worth of electricity. It's always just right around the corner. I mean, this eternal optimism, I appreciate it, I do. But it's just silly when we actually see the numbers. All right, so according to an investor, the great leap forward in longevity may sound fantastical, but it's actually happened before. For example, the development of current medical techniques and other social advances helped boost longevity in the United States by more than 20 years over the course of the 20th century. Oh my goodness. So this, what people, when they hear that, they think people used to, let's just keep going because I'm going to show you what happens here. Here's Rick Edelman. The reality is that retirement was an invention of the 20th century. Back in the 1800s and early 1900s, if you were alive, you worked. Then there came the great industrialization. You started to have this concept of a career and a pension. Frankly, that is a totally different environment than what we should expect today. So basically saying because of these advances boosted longevity, people were now living much longer than they did before. That's simply not true. If you survived childbirth, you did not live that much longer. I don't know why I have to say this all the time. And we're just going to go to the Society of Actuaries. And we're going to go, this still only goes back to 2010. It doesn't matter. It hasn't changed. And we're going to look right here. So here's life expectancy at age 65. This is in 1900. If you made it to age 65, your life expectancy was 76 years old, I think is what it says here. Hold on a second. Let me see what that says down here. Boink, there we go. Second, pause it. I can't, it's too small for me to read while I got you guys here. So anyway, so here's life expectancy at birth was 48 years or so at birth. Why? Because look at all those infant mortality deaths. Infant mortality deaths right there. Number of deaths per 100,000. But if you made it to 50 to 40, your life expectancy was 68. If you made it to 65, your life expectancy was 78. So this right here, as it starts to go down, it's starting to go down, the life expectancy goes up. But not for people who survived until they're 50, or I guess in this case 40 and 65. So look, life expectancy at age 65. Watch. So watch this thing right here. Life expectancy at age 65. Not much of a change, is it? Not much. Still about 78. Life expectancy at age 65. Still about 78. Isn't that weird? 1940. 1950, life expectancy at age 65, still about 79 now. 79, 1960, about 79, 1970, right about 80. 1980 is going about 81. 1990 is going about 82. 2000 going about 83. And then 2010 about 84. And then we know that's actually dropped because of what happened in the last couple of years. But anyway, what has changed here? So the only thing that's changed is the life expectancy for newborns. So watch this right here, right there. Boink, 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 boink. Look at that. That is what's changing. Has nothing to do with freaking, it doesn't have anything to do with technology relative to old people getting rid of cancer and stuff. It just doesn't. It has to do with, I showed you this a million times this Sunday. I'm going to show it to you again. It has to do with Ignaz Semmelweis. The Doctor is a great, great book you should read. If I remember, I'll put in the show notes, which you should absolutely get. The Doctor's Plagues, Germs, Childhood Fever, and the Strange Story of Ignaz Semmelweis. Basically what he said is, how come midwives are delivering babies that did not die in childbirth and the women did not die, but yet these doctors, the science of the day, they were all dying. Why? And the reason was because the doctors were too freaking cocky to wash their hands after delivering a birth. So they'd take a disease-infected child, a woman, doing all that stuff for the baby, and then they wouldn't even wash their hands. They go over here, they go over here. Ignaz says, don't do that. Just wash your hands. Wash your hands. And what happened is they literally sent him to a loony bin where he got beaten to death, essentially, because he was challenging the science. But ultimately, he won. And so what happened is with better nutrients, better hygiene, we had more and more cleaner water, then children started living, and the mom started living as well. It didn't change much, though, for the other people, for the people who already survived childbirth. It did not change much. A little bit, but not to the extent that what this guy is saying here. We have we boosted longevity by 20 years over the course of the 20th century. It just did not. It's simply not true, other than for newborns. And yeah, absolutely. But you can see the newborns are way over here. If you made it to 65, you're way over here. What happened? The 65-year-old people creeped up a little bit, but the newborns, they went like that. That's what happened. And as such, it had nothing to do with solving cancer and all this. It didn't. And if anything, the life expectancy has gone the other direction for older people. So just the perpetual optimism that says, oh my goodness, and this, I find it bad because it's not based on anything reality. It's based on hope. And that's okay to be hopeful. But the reality is different. And when it comes to your financial and retirement plan, base it on reality, not hope. Hope is not a plan. Hope is a hope. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. Put in the doobie-dook, and again, I'll put the Ignaz Semmelweis book. Very easy book to read, very short. All right, we'll see you guys.